Hey, it's Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the penthouse. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Good morning. Now, you got to put this down, and let's focus, and let's do this, because I'm like, she's like, hey.
I'm trying to find that picture so I can show you.
No, we got to focus on what's going on, because we need some help here. Everybody up in this month sleepy, like, I'm going to need you not to be drab. I need high energy, and not just like, we got to wake the people up. Listen, let's just hit with these hot topics. What is going on? And is this our new normal?
What new normal? There's so many things happening. Which one are you talking about?
Well, Nick was talking about the new halter top, the styles. Now, I saw that. I saw that.
I was talking about the male preacher who said that his male significant other is pregnant.
Right, which is cornball.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to need you to stop. I'm going to need you to stop right now. So let's tackle that topic. We're going to go around the table. The male preacher who talking about his male husband. Is that the first man? Is that what they call him? Because you know the first lady.
Man. The man and the first man. The preacher man and the first man.
I can't.
First man 1, first man 1.5.
No, that's actually not the first man.
What is it?
We'll put it this way, because you know that ain't no man. That one is
what
somebody
is
that had
it?
sex change. But a couple months ago, they had one in the hills of West Virginia. Go figure.
A pastor, preacher?
No, just a man having a baby.
Well, I need to focus on this. We on this hot topic first. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's about to go somewhere else, but we gonna get there. But it's about to go somewhere else. So, okay, so the man and the first man, the pastor and the first man.
The first man is expecting.
The first man probably wasn't a man.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe the first man had it.
I just saw the post.
you just saw it.
Because somebody commented on it. And I can't remember now I gotta go in there and find it. But anyway, when the pastor says that his man is expecting a baby, and there's 2 men.
The first man is a Shem.
Okay.
It has to be.
Him and Shem having a baby.
The first man is a Shem. It has to be.
It has to be, because you can't implant nothing. Like, if it was like in vitro or something, you can't, like, come on. See, here's the thing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say go there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say with it. I just saw it.
Here's the thing. You have people who want a sex change. And then, like, okay, this is going to get confusing, so y'all got to follow me.
I'm listening.
All right. So you have a lady and a man, and I don't know these people personally, but I know somebody that know them. Because I work with the lady, so she knew this is like for real. This is like for real. I ain't making this stuff up. The woman got a sex change. Well, she got a sex change to be a man, and the guy was gay, and he wanted to become a woman. But then they got together. Like,
they switched genders.
They switched genders, and they together.
Not the first time.
Come on now. Let's just. So to me, I'm like, were you really born that way? Were you really born that way, or you just didn't meet the person that that was for you in your community, so to speak?
For the homosexual people that I've met, 100% of them will say they were actually born that way.
Right.
Now, having been in the field that I'm in, there are people of the same gender who engage if that's all that's available to them in certain circumstances. So I don't know how to answer that. In that case, well, they switched off and got what they wanted, so I could say they were born that way.
Yeah, they switched off and got what they wanted. Yes. And they back together. Because
the one became what they wanted, so did the other, and now they good.
Okay. See, I'm confused.
I'm confused too because I'm still thinking the man that turned into a woman is now with the woman that turned into a man. You still
so they still like the opposite.
It's still the same thing. So you still the man that's with a woman. Y'all just switch roles.
Right.
I don't understand.
Because
why can't you just get a feminine man if you just like the sensitive guy?
Because it's a mindset as well. It's not just gender. It's mental. It's emotional. And I had. Now we can really go off somewhere. I had one of a male homosexual friend of mine tell me that the one thing about it is being male, you know what another man likes. So they've both been in the opposite body, and they both have the mindset, so they know exactly how to please the other because now they've been both.
So is it all about sex?
No.
This old lady told me this a long time ago. Rest her soul. She ended up passing away just recently. This was a grandma. And listen, shocked me to death. I ain't lying. Shocked me right on out. Get the jumper cables. I need the AED. That lady said to me, she was like, baby, listen. Just like that. She said the world was revolving and it is all about the D and the P. But she said it.
Oh.
Ooh. And now I'm at this stage of the game where I'm thinking, I was like, ooh, that's somebody's grandmother saying that. I couldn't believe it. She said, that's what it's all about. So it's all about sex. That's what this older lady said, right? Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking at it, and you just said they know how to please. Mm-hmm. A man knows what a man likes and what a man wants. Just like I'm a female, but I don't know what every female like, because let me tell you, it's some people, they super freaks. I mean, Rick James said it best. I'm like, whoa, I don't know if I like all of that. So you know what I'm saying? What I like may not be what the next person likes.
Right.
But then what if the person is just greedy? And I call the greed is when, they like both because they just freaks, and then they like, okay, well, yes, I'm gay. When that's not necessarily it. They just have a high sex drive or a high libido.
That's possible. I think that I truly, honestly believe that there are some people who are legitimately born that way. Mm-hmm. Because they will share their experiences before they even understood what sexuality was. Like this one guy friend told me that he knew something was different because when they were playing house as kids, you know how traditionally the little boy is the father, the mother is the little girl's the mom, you got the kids. He could never understand why he could not be the mother. Because he couldn't identify with male gender roles.
Okay.
He couldn't identify with the attraction to the mom, the female. He said he didn't know then what it was, but he knew it wasn't the way everybody else saw it.
Okay, so that would be somebody that legitimately
was born that way.
On
the other hand, there are some people out there who their libido is just so tough, however they can get it off, they're going to get it off. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's like hermaphrodites. If they're born with both genitals, and then their parent chooses the sex of the child that they want, but they really should have been the other sex. So
now that's gender assignment.
Now that's different. Now that's different. If you're a hermaphrodite, that's different. Now I met a real one in the field that I'm in, and listen, he was pleasing himself.
Yay.
Yes.
You don't have to worry with
men know what men like, and
women know what women like.
Exactly.
But now in that case, I don't think like if I had a child that was born with both organs, I wouldn't assign. Because you don't know. Because what if you assign one thing and then they end up that way?
I have to agree with that a little bit.
I'd be like the old dude at the spot. I can't say, I ain't going to say where it was at, but his parent, he's from different culture, but he just had both of them. That had to be something different. Can you imagine that?
That's pleasing yourself.
Guess what? You be the first person that will ever be STD free. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about when you having sex besides wearing a condom or knowing you're
right, or with somebody else. For like, what we doing?
Me to a different level.
Exactly.
Right. Or be like, who I'm liking today?
Love me.
Wow. Now, my question is, because they be preaching that masturbation is a sin. So how are they going to? Would that still be the same thing in the hermaphrodite's case that's pleasing himself that way?
And from the church's perspective, I would say yes.
Now, there you go. Now, back to with the church, we hold people in the church to a higher standard. And do I think it's fair? I don't. And the reason I say that is because I have a friend who is quick to judge. Quick to judge the people in the pulpit. Mm-hmm. Quick to judge the people in the pulpit. He can do the same thing outside. But forgetting the fact that this pastor is a man. Forgetting the fact that he's a man. And yeah, he has a job. I just say it's a job. People need to understand that. And we all fall short of the glory at times, But to think that they're not supposed to have the same desires or, you know what I mean? It's just really, really different when you have somebody who judges everything and then he points at, and yeah, I'm putting you out there, but I ain't gonna say your name. And he points a finger at everybody. And then if a pastor has a nice car, he was like, oh, look at him taking all the church's money. So you telling me the pastor ain't allowed to have a nice car?
Exactly.
That's a job. You got a job. You go to work every day. You go to work every single day. That's their job. They go to work. Why is it that they can't have a nice vehicle or nice things? Because they're supposed to do everything for free? Not okay. Now, in this case, this is where I'm going with that, as far as with him. Having a child, talking about your husband is pregnant or expecting, that's a bit much to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because once President Obama okayed the, and I did a show on it. I can't remember the stats on it right now. I probably should have had that information, but I know we was going to go in depth this way. Once we were allowed to have same-sex marriages, I thought everything was going to be okay. But do you know that the same-sex marriage, and it's only been a few years, the divorce rate is equal to the heterosexual marriages? The divorce rate. I can't tell you, give you the exact percentages, but they are like right there neck and neck.
I didn't know that.
So now, what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying that is, so you have a husband that y'all expecting a child. Get a pet. Get a pet. You about to have a baby, and if it don't work out, is that going to be like a single dad again? Like, come on. Like, so you're bringing a person here, and clearly we know it's not natural. We know it's not natural, unless somebody going to adopt a child or whatever the case may be. Come on. And now you're going to have this child, like, confused. Because I ain't going to lie, I be confused. When I be hearing people, and I see them babies talking about two mommies. Now, yeah, you can have two mommies because you have a mom, a stepmom, the whole nine. But then what's happening is the new normal that I'm watching, because I don't say nothing, because, to each his own. And anybody that knows me, long as you're not harming nobody, and what you do in your bedroom is your business, because I don't need you knowing what I do in mine. Okay? But that's becoming the new normal, that people that are heterosexual are becoming the oddball. The oddball. What's happening? And this is with the younger generation coming up, because I'm watching it. And it's like, oh, I have two mommies, and that's like everything is being accepted. We're in a generation where everything is being accepted, because we know, like, tattoos was taboo. Now you got people with sleeves. If you don't have a tattoo, you're the odd man out.
I'm the odd man out then, because I don't have none, because I don't like needles.
It's very rare that you find somebody that really don't have tattoos. You got tats? Look at y'all. See what I'm saying? These two in here, see, they ain't got tats. I got tats. I ain't around here looking like a detention hall desk, but I got tats. So these people around here looking like detention hall, you desk. Like, come on. So I'm on that one. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. A pastor and a first husband, that's just odd to me.
Very. Because
I'm not used to it, and I don't know if I could get you, be with who you want to be with, but when you start bringing children in, reproducing, come on. What's going to happen? That's what I'm saying. What's going to happen to the future? But I'm just putting it all out there. Now, back to, you were talking about the pastor. Would you say your situation with the Hot Topic? What'd you say about the pastor?
Down in West Virginia.
In West Virginia?
Oh, no, it wasn't a pastor. It was just two men that had a baby, but she had a sex change. And that's the only way that is possible, is that if this person is a transgender.
Okay,
person,
so she was born a female.
Yeah, she was born a female.
And then became a male, and then fell in love with a male.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we were saying at the beginning. So you fell in love with a male. So what happened? And then I look at the people that, you know what, I'm going to have to do a show. I got to get my people up in here, my gays. They're going to come on in here to explain this to me. Because you have females that say they identify as male, which is all right, and that's cool. And if I'm attracted to a female, why you dressing like a male? That means I'm attracted to a male. If I see, because you got chicks that look like a dude. I got a cousin, no lie, she got mad at us because I'm like, how you doing, sir? Well, what we doing?
Because you have, you have the lipstick lesbian, and I can't think of the male-looking lesbian. When you
Studs.
that's not the name. Is that the name?
That's what they calling themselves.
So that it's almost energy. We're looking at it from the outside. You're looking at the face of a woman, the face of a man. But our sexuality is deeper than the way we look. It is the way we think. It is the way we feel. It's what we identify with. And so, and it's not just who you share yourself with physically intimately. There's a whole gender identity that goes along with this. So when you're seeing these people do these things, their attraction to the same gender does not mean they express it all the exact same way, just like heterosexuals don't. We have different energies. You'll see a relationship and she run that relationship. Yeah, he really over. You know what I'm saying? It happens on all relationships. It's just that right now we're focusing on the homosexual relationship, but it's across the board.
Okay. Yeah, because I need some clarity. I'm like, because I need some clarity.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one either. Like,
you're attracted to a woman, but you dating somebody that look like a guy.
You decided to become a male, and then you're married to a man, and you still want a baby. You should have stayed a female. You're doing everything a female does. I don't understand it.
Well, we're going to move on to the next hot topic. A woman in San Francisco took her son to get a vaccine, okay? The flu shot. And she is suing the hospital because she said that flu shot made her son gay. He's 16 years old. I ain't making this stuff up. I'm telling y'all. I'm not making this stuff up. And she said it. She made it clear. She PSA? Public service announcement. Yep. She said, I do not have a problem with other people being gay. Don't get me wrong. But he's my son. End quote. Mm-hmm. So that's what she said. Now, let me read this because I don't want to mess this up. Read this verbatim to you. The doctor told me that there could be some secondary effects to the shot, either fever or make him short-tempered for a few days. But they never told me that he turned gay, she explained. Visibly furious over the whole affair.
He didn't just turn gay, Mama. He been gay.
Does she say why she thinks the shot did it?
Because he came out after the shot. She said, listen, he been going out with he was going out with some beautiful Italian girl for the past 2 years. And she said it was a great couple. But he probably was gay the whole time. And then I got this flu shot. This is maybe that was his way of expressing it to her. That could have very well been his way to say, okay, well, it's some side effects, and let me say this.
Side effects. So now that kind of makes sense. That was his way of coming out. So, make it sound like it was the side effects. Nah, little boy, you about to get this.
Well, here's the problem. She said a few weeks after that, him getting that flu shot, he ended the relationship, and then he started dressing feminine.
He been wanting to do that.
I'm just trying to see the correlation with the flu vaccine that makes her. I don't care what. Look. The flu shot gave me the flu. All right, we'll talk about that because some people will say that can't happen. Other people say it happens. It does,
yeah.
But the flu shot turned my sexuality.
How about that?
No. I need to even see. And literally you can sue for anything. Nothing stops you from suing. But how she's going to have an attorney proceed, unless you can show me documentation, statistics, that people have had gender identity issues because of some type of vaccine, I can't. I don't understand.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
I don't understand.
Okay, well, a medical specialist, Frank, Weisberg, because I'm doing this at the same time. Y'all look this up, too, the listeners. Medical specialist Frank, Weisberg, Weishberg, claims that he has observed a progression in similar claims in the past decades. That's what he said. That he actually seen hundreds of similar cases in the last decades alone.
Related to
this flu shot. Listen, I'm gonna keep y'all posted and updated on this because I'm like, this is interesting. He said that there's problems in the male reproductive system that have been witnessed to at least 100 similar cases only in the past decade, with a large amount in San Francisco Bay Area, which is extremely atypical, he admits.
Ta-da! That's gay capital of the world. Come on now. Quit playing.
Listen,
young man,
it
young
is
man,
what it.
Please go ahead.
What you say, young man?
Exactly.
Young
please
man,
go
young
ahead
man.
and tell your mama that you been gay. You was just afraid to come out and tell her.
And that was a side effect.
Because that's basically what it is. He was afraid to tell his mother, and so therefore that was his out. The doctor saying that he may experience some side effects. Let me make this up and come on here and come out to my mama. Boy, if you don't tell your mama the truth and quit playing.
He researched Dr. whatever Watson, whoever, before he went and got
Weisberg,
yeah. He researched that. He was like, I'm getting the flu shot. Let me see if I can find a way to come out with this.
Yeah.
Found Dr. Washburger on there, threw some cheese and lettuce on that stuff, and he went with it.
Like, this
Boy,
is what
tell
I'm
your
gonna
mama
do.
the truth and quit lying. Tell her the truth. You been gay. Tell her.
Just tell her. Just come on out.
You come out and tell her, Mom.
She's
I've
suing.
been feeling this way. Exactly, because now he's getting ready to make his mom come out and all this money to sue. Then the doctor's all up in it. Boy, just go on to tell the truth. But you starting to ruin lives.
But you know what the crazy is? Remember several years back when somebody decided to sue a fast food restaurant because the coffee was too hot and she won?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
That is the new normal. We're accepting everything. We are accepting.
Mess around, and when you fill out that form for the consent, it's gonna say may cause gender identity change.
And everybody gonna be like, what?
And that's the thing. He's causing a bunch of ruckus for nothing because he was afraid to come out to his mom a long time ago. Boy, you better tell your mom the truth.
Need to. How about the one guy, he was running track. I can't think of his name. Come on, help me, Lord, help me. The guy, he was running track, and he's a transgender woman now. His name will come to me. But anyway, long story short, he had he competed last year in track, and after he competed last year, I don't think he won last year.
He won this year.
The NCAA track championship. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but yeah, he won this year.
Franklin Pierce University senior, CC Tefler. That's the name. CC Tefler is the first transgender woman to win an NCAA championship competing in the women's division. Now, he competed last year as a male. Now, this just happened last week, okay? This is Franklin Pierce University, so y'all just catch up with it. Actually, it was the women's 400-meter hurdles. Here's my problem. Almost with the Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. Why? That's unfair.
Very.
I'm like, he's transgender, so it's a female now, but you are born a male, so your makeup is still a male makeup, and he's competing with women. So there's no competition. Like, all of y'all should see my face. Y'all got to see my face. If you see my face, you would know already. Look, if y'all see my face, y'all be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, to me, that's not fair. If you want to be transgender and you're in sports, since they're making it transgender,
he's still competing with females though. It's a male competing with female. His makeup is male. Men are stronger.
Exactly.
So how is that? Why? Unless they get their own division. And then they're going to say...
Transgender division?
Yeah, transgender
that's
division.
What I was just going to say. They really
so
need to have one.
male, female,
and transgender.
Male, transgender, female.
Hey, that's what they was talking about doing with the bathrooms.
Fair.
That's what they was talking about doing with the bathrooms.
That's
because that ain't fair. Of course he going to win. Of course he's going to win.
Well, there are some people out there saying, of course, it's possible that he wouldn't win. But I would have to say...
If he ran already, so that means he's athletic. He sat there and competed last year. Okay.
And he won
last year he didn't win. But now you competing against the women.
With the women.
And now you won.
So is he still anatomically male?
No, he's transgender, so now he's female.
He's anatomically female.
Anatomic, so you just cut off, snipped, and tucked and did some stuff.
So, does the birth certificate say male or female?
The birth certificate says male.
Then I think you should do what your birth certificate says.
That's
what I think.
That's what I think too, because I'm thinking that's totally unfair. Because if I ran track,
like you said, do a trend, because a lot of these transgenders are in sports now, and it's not fair because your makeup is no. So they really
your chemical makeup is still male,
right? They really need.
We're talking about Cece.
I don't know exactly who Cece is.
Well, Cece is a transgender now. She's
Is this
Cece.
high school?
No, this is college. And Cece is a senior now. Competed in the NCAA track tournament last year as a male. Didn't win, and now competed against the women and won the first champion. Well, I guess so, because your chemical makeup is a male.
But are we assuming that a female can't?
I ain't saying a female can't beat a male, but he's stronger.
Well, this is what I would say. Okay,
Go ahead, Rugal, because we need something.
The Olympics.
We need something up in here.
Okay, the Olympics, they will challenge women who have high levels of testosterone
with steroids. Seeing if they on some steroids.
So my thoughts are, this is what the ultimate solution is. Have everybody run together.
Okay.
And then whoever win. Like,
men and female, that ain't right. That's why they separated it. That's why they separated it, because they know.
Well, they added women's sports because of Title IX.
Right. We know about Title IX. Shout out to Title IX. Yes.
Well, now we're 9.5.
Right. The 0.5. Title 0.5.
I think it's really up to the women, though, to make an effort and say, like, is this what they want to compete in? You know what I mean? Like, do they feel like this is fair for them?
Well, they said with this personal collegiate best time of 57.53. But
what did he run?
The 400-meter hurdles.
400-meter hurdles.
Mm-hmm. He beat the 8 women field. Well, I know you did. Now, see, did they say he? Because I'm reading.
What's the record?
I don't even. Well, the next time, the best time was 59. His is 57. Or hers.
So he won by, the person won by 2 seconds. That's a lot of time.
Right.
That's a
against the women. See what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just feel like you didn't win as a male. I mean, not saying that he decided, you know what, I'm about to become transgender so I can win this championship. You know what I mean? Like, I lost last year, but I'm going to go and compete against the women. That's like Bruce Jenner. Now, Bruce Jenner, he won, and he's good as Bruce Jenner.
He won as a man.
As a man. That's the difference.
He was the best as a man.
Best as a man.
And then said,
would he make the Wheaties box as Caitlyn?
Right. It wouldn't be fair.
You saying if he decided to be transgender then?
If he decided to compete as a female now, is it fair?
This is what I would say. If there was a woman who could compete with men in these events, and she wanted to, would they allow her to do it?
Are people protesting his victory?
No, they're not. It's just they're not. They said he earned the All-American First Team honors. That's what they're saying. But I'm protesting, and I ain't running nowhere.
Well, I just kind of think that it brings in the issue for me. It brings in the issue of the chemical piece that the Olympics challenges women on as far as their level of testosterone. And I heard, and I could be wrong about this, but I heard something where they were trying to. This was in the Olympics, because there's a woman who actually has a lot of, like, she might have been born. What is that when you is it androgynous?
The hermaphrodite.
Yeah, or something like that.
Okay, this is it. You hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Here it is. Okay, last year he finished 8th. Competing against men. Okay? And they said, wait a minute, I lost my spot. Let's see, he finished 8th in the field of 9 in the men's 400 meters. But the NCAA allows male athletes, because I had to look this up because I'm like doing it, male athletes to compete as women if they suppress their testosterone levels for a full calendar year.
And he couldn't have done that.
Yeah, before that, they compete on mixed teams with men and women.
So did he do that? So that would be the question.
Here, Rugal, with your bad self.
Did he do that?
He had to have. I don't know. I don't know.
He might have started before he lost the race last year. He could have
now
started.
that's something to think about.
Well, we got to figure out when was the date for the last race.
Now, see, I don't know. I just had to see the testosterone level and how that worked because I need to know the rules. Yeah. How does that work? And that's it. So you have to one full calendar year.
Because the Olympics is making a woman. I guess she whatever that is when you know. I forgot where she's from, but anyway, she has. I think she might have both.
What we was talking about, both organs.
Testosterone level, then.
Yeah, and they tell her, and they say to her that she may have to suppress her levels, but she didn't do anything. She was just born that way,
and she's living as a female, obviously.
Yeah,
so she wouldn't have an issue suppressing testosterone.
I think she's. I mean, like when I say, I know she looks hard in the face, but it's a woman.
Okay,
but she's a woman. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry about that.
But she's a woman.
She's a woman. Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Okay, now I done looked up the NAACP. NAACP. Lord Jesus. NCAA, they got a transgender handbook. And I got this information for y'all. Here you go. According to the medical experts on this issue, the assumption that a transgender woman competing on a woman's team would have a competitive advantage outside the range of performance and competitive advantage or disadvantage that already exists among female athletes is not supported by evidence. So it's pretty much what I was talking about. I was like, nah, he will win. So as they said, it's not supported by the evidence. So
the evidence isn't that he would win, that he would have an advantage.
No, this is not just to him. This is just the transgender handbook for the NCAA.
Okay, but because I think when you flip that and you say transgender, it's also the opposite though too. It's a woman who would want to play football.
Yeah, how you feel about that?
I mean, women,
and then she gonna sue because she can't have kids.
Women can play. They can be on teams.
I wonder if they have to sign consent.
What?
I wonder if they're gonna have to sign a consent.
It was when I was in college. It was a young lady who wanted to be our kicker.
Okay, a kicker, soccer. That's cool.
And we wanted her to be the kicker.
I know you did.
No, because we didn't have no kicker, and she played soccer. And
so she's a kicker. That's what I'm like. Hey,
let her kick. You know what I mean? And she was catching a lot of flack from other people about it. But had she expressed the flack that she was catching, I would have got the people I knew and be like, who are the people who telling you opposite of this?
What the cat? What you mean? The catcher?
Who are the people that's bullying this lady not to kick in our football team?
Well, that's because you wanted her to be the kicker because she played soccer.
I wanted her to be the kicker because she can kick.
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
you know what I mean? And we needed a kicker. So my thing was like, hey, who telling you this? Who telling you no? Who's telling you no?
Okay, now if she wanted
she didn't really reveal that because I was a little.
A kicker, I think a kicker is a little different. But when you think of football contact, physical contact with football,
you still got
a female. She gonna sue when she can't have children because here's the thing: if a chick want to play football, let's go back to your football days.
Okay.
And a girl on the team.
Yeah.
You tackling her the same, Rugal?
Hell yeah! I'm knocking her goddamn head off. I mean, and not because she's a woman, but it's because she got the ball.
Okay.
This is what they tell you. They tell you to attack the ball carrier. No
matter who it is, and if you want in, you in.
And guess what? They say attack the ball carrier. Attack!
That's what they teach y'all?
The ball carrier. Ball carrier does not have gender tied to it.
Male, female, transgender,
football was ahead of the curve to male.
Whatever.
The male.
Age, from 8 to 80.
Remember, they used to say mailman. That was letter carrier. We was talking about ball carrier back in the day. So it didn't matter. Whoever had that ball, attack.
And so you was going to do that?
Yeah.
And then they going to look, she'd have been hashtagging me too, right now.
Me too, yeah.
And would you be like, hashtag
just like the other dude that tackled before her.
No discrimination. No discrimination, just attack the ball carrier.
Attack the ball carrier.
Even if the ball carrier was like 7, 8 years old.
Attack the ball carrier. You got your little
No
ass on the
discrimination.
field. Hey, you should be on the field. Attack the ball carrier.
Handling it.
All right. Tamron, you're young. If you play sports, would you tackle a female if she was on the opposite team?
And she had the ball.
You would too?
Yes.
Okay.
If she in practice. If we on the same team, but we in practice.
You
You don't
get
care?
teed off on just like anybody else. Because you fighting for your position.
Oh, okay.
You
Nah, I get it.
So if you going against let's say this person is a starter or whatever, you going against them and the starting defense is going against starting offense, and you want to keep your position, what you gonna do? You gonna forget all the fundamentals that you learned.
Score because they're female.
Okay, you let them score. And guess what? The coach gonna say all the other team gotta do is get somebody with a ponytail and run past you because you gonna let them score.
He sound like a coach, don't he?
Get out the game. Get out the game.
Coach, come to practice the next day. Put a ponytail on your head.
He gonna
out the
get
game.
benched for the next game, probably the next couple.
Like, man, okay.
You gonna openly miss a tackle
Because she's a girl.
Because it's a girl. Man,
How many laps would you run for that?
I mean, for just missing a tackle, period, you run.
Yep.
You get in trouble for missing tackles anyway.
Yes.
That's a stat.
So Chick said, "What to play?"
It was a dude I played in college. It was a dude who missed 8 single tackles by halftime.
Ooh.
Hey,
That
you got to
means
go.
He's still running.
Him and the ball carrier by themselves, and the ball carrier won 8 out of 8 times.
He sucked. Looking like he sucked.
Still running.
Oh,
But he's male.
You
so
get
he
in
can
trouble.
He's male, he can run it.
shit.
You get in trouble for that. Yeah. So you know.
well, let's talk about the comedian Tiffany Haddish. Yeah, we talked about it a while. Look at him up. No, she confessed. She was on the show.
She ain't funny. She confessed.
I can't. She was at a round table during a Hollywood round table, and she's she's acting now. Just like a lot of them, they switch over and they end up going and start acting. Anyway, she disclosed a secret that she always did. Did you guys see it?
No.
Well, here's her secret. Did you see it? Mm-mm. Okay, well, I watched it just for y'all. Since y'all didn't see it, I got you covered. She would go in for auditions, and then she would put her phone on recorder, voice recorder, leave her phone with her bag and leave out so that she can hear what they said when she left.
Ooh.
And she'll come back in and be like, oh, I forgot my purse. And then she'll come back and she'll get it, and then she goes out and listen to what they said about her. Listen, that's genius. Because it works both ways. Either you can use it against that person or you can use it to make yourself a little better. But it's like, well, what did they say?
I think those people who were interviewing her had to be idiots not to see her bag in a room. Because I've been in meetings where it's been executive session and people have just left, but they left their bags or whatever in the room. You know what I say? I'm like, such and such left their bag.
Oh, so you bring it to their attention.
I take their bag and I just put it in a drawer somewhere so you ain't hearing nothing.
That's because you want to look at you. Yeah. You know the game.
So if you that's my thoughts. But
but that's good.
But then her telling that.
Now she's telling secret, it. Now everybody gonna be paying attention.
Everybody gonna be looking at her like she crazy now. Like
some people probably aren't going to trust her, but
right.
I think that's clearly she ain't the first one that did it, because you just said you'll look and be like, oh, they left their bag here, and like you said, you put it in a drawer, so you gonna look out for it, especially with everybody recording everything.
Because I was a person who did that, and they just happened to leave their Mac computer there. I'm like, come on. I said, oh, here was such and such bag, and I just put it away. So
it happened.
It happened. And now I know it. I don't know the person was recording because I didn't open the stuff because I didn't want them to say, oh, you taking my stuff. Nope, but I kindly put it away.
Okay.
So you ain't getting nothing out of here.
Okay. So people are really like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was genius. I was like, well, at least you can know the truth of why you didn't get the role. See, and we're just looking at like her situation, which is minor, but you just don't know with the cameras and the recorders on the phone. You don't know if people are recording you at any time.
I was going to say this though.
I'd be like, drop your phone off in the basket.
She's in she's on Netflix on this. It's a cartoon where she does a voice. And it's called Tuka and something. And I try to watch an episode. She's one of those people, and I know I throw a lot of shade her way. and this is more shade, I guess. But it's just like this. I like her better as an actress than a comedian, but she is not a voice actress.
Because you still got that same voice.
It just don't.
Did she change? It's still the same?
No, it's the same.
And see,
but Ali Wong is on there, and she plays one of the characters too, and she does a great job. But she has a voice that kind of goes with it.
Okay. Okay. She said that because they asked what type of feedback did she hear, and she said she heard that she's not urban enough. Oh, she's quite urban to me.
For real. Plain down.
But I guess for the role. And then she's not urban enough. And then there was one that she was too ghetto for one role. And then there's, she said that one said they were supposed to cast somebody black, but they said they'll just go ahead and cast somebody white. So she heard that, and she needed to know, or one, she didn't have enough boobs, that they were looking for. And to me, it's all about preference, especially when you do it, for the role. Like me, I'm real particular for the role when I write my plays. And I know in my mind who I see. And sometimes I write plays and be like, okay, I know when I write the character, I know who's in mind.
Yeah, and let's say this too, though. It's been some people who have been really good actors who they try to put in roles that they were not good in. Mm-hmm. For example, Zoe? Saldana.
Saldana, that's it.
Yeah. They had her play. Now I had the person's mind. Who was it that she played? Nina Simone, the singer. They had her play her. And the lady's dark skin doesn't even look the same. So what they did was they put a wig on her to make her hair look kinky. They basically put darker makeup on her and a fake nose. And it was like,
it didn't work.
You should have just got somebody
dark.
Yeah.
Somebody else should just play it instead of just saying, hey, I want to use her.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes you fight to put a person in a role that just ain't right, even though they might be a great actor.
Okay. I think that you should be able to discriminate if it's your production.
Well, they do discriminate.
Yeah, but I'm saying people.
That's how people get typecast. Like
yes.
This guy. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you see, but look what they do. You're right, because they discriminated against what's the little girl name? Tell me, little girl. She grown Taraji. Mm-hmm. They typecast her, but she do good. But you see, she keeps playing those roles, and she did that one role which was good. What was it? That she did good in.
She did good. She was in Benjamin Button. She won an Oscar for that. Yeah. Did she win an Oscar for that, or was she nominated?
I think she was nominated because that's when she lost her ring. That's when she lost her ring.
I mean, the thing is, she gets different roles.
But before she wasn't though, because remember she was typecast off of the Baby Boys. That's why she. Oh, shout out to rest in peace, John Singleton, who gave her first role, and she said that's when she soared after that. Mm-hmm. But she had to prove herself, just like with Spike Lee. Spike Lee didn't want to give Halle Berry that role when she in Jungle Fever when she played the crackhead, and she said she played a great one.
Yeah, she did.
And he said that she was too pretty, and she convinced him.
But that's what happened though. How many people know a crackhead that was drop dead gorgeous at one time?
All the time. That's what they call her. She was prom queen. Now
we both know one, but I ain't gonna say the name. We both know one. Drop dead.
I know several. And now you look at them, you be like, ew.
What they say? Because I can't even remember what song. She was prom queen. Now she prom fiend.
Yeah.
But he felt that she was
brand Nubian.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said that she Spike Lee didn't want her to have that role, and she just boom fought for it. She's like, let me play this role, and she played it, and she did the doggone thing, and that's what pretty much got her out there. And so they kind of typecast, they do, and I think they should be able to discriminate, because when she was on the Hollywood Roundtable, they were talking. They was like, well, you can't do that. Yes, you can, and that's why I brought that up. Because they said her boobs weren't big enough. As a writer, with the role and who you are looking for. What's the problem? Now you want to sue me because I didn't choose you? Stop.
There were people who were critical of Tyler Perry for casting Keisha Knight Pulliam in the movie she was in, and I can't remember. Was it Madea Goes to Jail? Mm-hmm. And they were like, her teeth are too white. She's too polished for the role that she played.
She played that.
But there were people who criticized. I thought she did a good job.
She did a real good
job. But a lot of people felt that she was too
neat,
too polished for the role.
Who was this?
Keisha Knight Pulliam in
Tyler
Perry's movie.
Okay.
And they were like, her teeth are too white. She's too clean. She's too neat. And they didn't like her in that role.
Those are things. That's not her fault,
right?
That's them not saying, oh, we should make your teeth dirty. That's them not using makeup to
Right.
say, you know, like go eat this chocolate bar.
And we about to cash you right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's their fault because they can do things to make you ugly.
But,
You know what I
but
mean?
the
You know?
audience. So, but what her to me,
What-
she was fine in that role. I mean, but
Do you think-
but there were people who couldn't identify with someone being
Because-
that put together for the role.
Because
she
they're
played.
still
What, she's
they're
still Rudy?
thinking of her as Rudy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With the
I'm trying to
Huxtables?
think which one it was because
Oh,
I seen
God.
one. Was it
He
a
got a-
Medea movie?
It was.
Yeah.
I think I
Medea
seen
goes
that
to jail.
one.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was
Did
Medea
I
Goes
see
to
that
Jail,
one?
the movie.
I feel like I seen like
but it-
half of all of them.
Because that's where
You heard me say half of
what's
them.
her name? Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
She played in that movie because she was Medea's cellmate, and she played crazy. And that girl,
yeah.
and she put her in one other movie too, and she took off after that.
But when it comes to like making a person look like they're having that experience, that's the productions team's job to do that. You know, like if you got punched in the eye, they give you a black eye, or they give you
Right.
you know, so if you in jail and you supposed to been like, hey, strung out or whatever, it may be funny, but it's movies where they put like they make a person's tooth look blacked out or whatever.
Right, a
You
missing
know,
tooth.
You
Mhm.
can do that kind of stuff. They fail to make
Yeah.
to make the character match. The,
Now you know when Mel
event.
wants you to look a certain way, she got you looking a certain way, and she got the best makeup artist to do it. Because I tell you what, having
Thank
her
you.
look
They
like
were- it was an
80-year-old
amazing-
woman.
They was an amazing team. Shout out to Amber.
Exactly.
She was a prostitute in this movie.
Oh yeah, that was right. I did see that. And I mean,
Well, I mean, but there's
it's some
there's
cute
good-looking
prostitutes. Yeah, all
I mean, that
prostitutes
is-
ain't
yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
I mean, did she have a drug problem or something?
Right.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did
she
have
did.
a drug
She
problem.
But-
did.
but you know what,
She was
though?
a down and out prostitute in the movie, and
Well-
they didn't like that.
But what happens sometimes though with with people that are drug addicted, you be like, man, why hasn't it ravaged them like it usually do people? Because some people spend so much time in and out of jail that they don't have, they haven't done it consistently enough for it to take the effects.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know
Now that's factual.
And I know somebody like that we both know. Ain't an after show gonna be some gossip.
Right.
You know?
Like, what? You wanna
You know,
shot.
'cause I know people like you be like, oh, this person was drug addicted, but they was in jail for 5 years, so they look. I mean, they look okay.
They
you know?
freaking amazing.
Yeah, and then like when they get back on, then it'd be like,
Oh, okay. Then they get look, they're rehab. Look,
yeah.
they go to jail for rehab.
What happened is they stopped getting, you would hope that they would get cured and never get back on. But what the thing that happens is usually they just stop going to jail, but they keep you doing the habit.
Right.
And it takes
It finally
a toll.
catches up.
Now, speaking of the makeup, y'all know Crime Stoppers. Did y'all see on Crime Stoppers where Crime Stoppers in Youngstown, Ohio, somebody robbed a bank? And
Okay, I heard about the bank.
okay,
Rob.
and so they got this guy's face on there. So different people were commenting on the bottom, was like, well, he should have just gave his ID and his social security card because his face was on
The camera.
the camera. Well, here's the thing. That was a mask. Yes, it was a mask. A black man mask. A black man's face mask. I said, they ain't gonna find this guy, and I'll show it to you. You'll be freaking amazed. And he was looking in the camera, looking around there,
looking around.
looking like
Because when he walked in the door, he purposely looked up
at the camera so that they could get a good view. And
So
I'm
this
sorry,
is a
that
dude
probably had to be a white person that
who
did
had a
that
little
because it was
movie
the only one
magic.
that put
speaking of a
blackface
mask,
on.
because they have those masks out. They were talking about it. We talked
Was
about
it
it
a
on the
mask
show.
on, or did they really like try to?
It's a mask. It's a mask, and I'm gonna show you guys.
Because I was like trying to.
Because he looked like who is that? Do I
Yeah,
know
like,
him?
have I seen this dude in the club before? And I was really thinking real hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull it up and I'll put it on the site so you can
Was
see
he a
it.
handsome guy?
He wasn't bad looking.
He wasn't bad
Listen,
looking at all.
he had on a hoodie. He had on a hat turned to the back. But when you look up here, you can see like the mask crumple.
Oh, okay.
He had a scar right here. Looked like right over his eyebrow that you could see. I'm like very distinctive. And somebody commented and said that's a mask. So what I did, because y'all already know how I do it, I sat there and Googled and looked on there. I was like, well, let me see. It's just a mask for real. And boom, pulled up a mask. And several of them. And that was one of them.
Wow.
So right here in the they got a mask. He out here robbing banks, smiling in the
Was
camera.
it the one downtown?
Home savings.
Oh shoot, he
Where
done pulled a
was
set
Was
it
it
off.
home? Was it downtown or whatever?
No, it wasn't.
No, the
It
one
wasn't.
on Mid. Market Street or Midlothian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Midlothian.
Oh,
They be getting them over there, don't they? They be getting it.
that one. That's a pretty high volume area.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because something else had just got robbed. The Burger King had just got robbed.
Dang.
Burger King?
I think it was Burger
It got robbed?
It was one of them, Burger King or something. One of them restaurants
I
over
think it
there
was a Burger
had
King.
just got robbed right there in that same area.
I think it was Burger King.
Right there in that same area.
I wonder did people be asking for like number 2s or something? Like, give me all the money and whatever you got on the rack. It better not be no goddamn onions on there. I swear.
Well, they got photos of the home saving robbery suspect is in release, so everybody's able to look and see. I mean, this is the one where he looks up at the camera coming in. He walks up in. I'm showing the co-host
And that's
the
a
photo.
mask?
Yeah, I'm gonna show. Wait a minute. I'm gonna show you up close. Look, up close where you actually be able to see. But he looks dead in the camera. Dead in the camera. Look at that one, and you can clearly see. Yes, and then I had posted up
And
underneath.
this is a mask.
Yes, I posted underneath and then there was a guy.
That look like if it's a mask. If
Look
it's
at-
a
you gotta
mask,
look-
it don't look like a mask that you buy. It looks like something that you
Somebody
make.
made, probably so. Probably so, because they had one under there where a guy, it was a white guy, and he put on the mask, he looked black, just looking, and mouth was open and everything.
Because even around the eyes, it ain't like he got on glasses or nothing, but it ain't like no...
And neither is the other one. Wait till you see. So yeah, it probably was a made one. They doing it. I'm telling you, this is like the new normal. Everybody is just like so smart and making up stuff, labs, and they probably get a lab in his back room. Mask, like you said, you was gonna have coffins.
Oh yeah, I'm still thinking
Them
about buying
eyes
that
look
coffin.
familiar, and I wouldn't put
Them
it past
eyes
this
look
certain
familiar.
person. I would.
But you see the mouth.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and
Look at the
around
nose.
the mouth and everything, and the nose shape. That person, I know somebody that looks exactly like that, eyes and all, and I wouldn't put it past them.
It's something.
Wouldn't put it past him at all.
Like these, they done made those.
Okay, this is what this remind me of.
Sorry, y'all can't see. Look, I'm like, we just sat there and went to something else.
What was the name of that show? I'm sorry, I moved it up. But it was a show. It's a magician show. The one with Penn and Teller on it. Who can fool Penn and Teller or whatever. But it was a white comedian who ended up having somebody come up on the stage who had a mask on that looked like it was not, he wasn't African American, but it looked funny because the head looked kind of
distorted. That's why they got
back
that
of the
hat.
head.
I sat there. I was like, they ain't gonna find him. And I mean, and he looking dead in the camera. Ain't nobody that slow. Ain't nobody that foolish. Well, listen, we're gonna move on to the next hot topic, which is, my gosh, 102-year-old woman allegedly murdered a 96-year-old woman in a nursing home. Now, this didn't happen in the States. This happened in France. And they found the woman dead. What'd you sentence her to?
Life.
What, the day after tomorrow?
But you just give this sentence. You can give a 20-year-old person a life sentence, but they die the next day. Well, they die. You know what I mean?
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they don't. They make. I think the idea of sentencing is to say that your crime is so heinous. This is what you get. You don't necessarily get credit for your age. There's no like, well, we think you'll die in 5, so let's just give you 7 years. A
102-year-old woman is suspected of murdering a 92-year-old nursing home neighbor. They said they went into the room, the lady was there, they saw scratches. So I guess
They fought.
they was fighting. And she was 102.
Well, you see the 90-something-year-old lady that killed her son? I just saw that yesterday because he was trying to put her in a nursing home, and she said, I'm not going. And that's what she told the police. I told them I wasn't going to no. She killed her son.
Wow, they
I
said
saw
that they said this 92-year-old, she died of strangulation. And they said that woman was coming out, so they just seen it. 102. Y'all doing it. Y'all ain't playing. That nursing home bought it.
Off the hook.
Like, for real.
Yeah,
but guess what? They have a responsibility though. You know, you got experience from going and seeing what's going on. Was the staff like how does that work? Do you really need security in nursing homes?
Well,
You're protecting them from the public.
It sounds like they might have been more of assisted living. You know what I mean?
Man, that's some serious.
Like they might
102. I'm thinking skilled in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, but that
assisted dying.
Right.
Jeez, y'all.
It's like,
but she walks in on the woman. The woman was lying in the bed, so that's what I'm wondering. Like assisted, and it could have very well been assisted living. They walking and moving around.
Yeah.
Somebody walking.
Okay, but was the 102-year-old woman in her right mind? Because I'm going to dementia.
See, that's where I'm going.
But see,
was it intentional?
But I'm thinking like if she was on a dementia unit, then it might have been more surveillance.
No,
both of them could be. Look,
I think. Hey, I mean,
they have you on a locked unit, so you can't run away from the demented person if they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Some of them they do. It depends if they're mobile. They put them on a locked unit.
Well, here's the thing. They said that the 102-year-old woman confessed.
She still could be demented.
She said the next door neighbor, the 102-year-old woman, then told the caregiver that she had killed someone and seemed agitated and confused.
Alrighty then.
Yes. She was admitted to the psych unit, of course. And they said, you know, like I said, the 92-year-old lady, she died of strangulation and blows to the head. Like, how does that work?
What did she pick up? Well, she could have did.
They said scratches and stuff was found. The police, they opened an investigation.
Frail. She too frail.
And they like voluntary homicide against a person vulnerable due to their physical condition. I mean, how do you deal with that?
It's a dude I go to church with, and he like 80. He got to be like 86 this year, and that guy. He'd be like, yeah, I think I'm going to only, go and play tennis like 2 times a week now because my knee is starting to hurt. And here it is. I'll be like, yeah, I ain't doing none of that.
You ain't doing.
I was in a 10K.
Okay, and marathon. You was running a marathon.
A 10K is just 5 miles, like 6.2 miles. But the thing was, I got beat by somebody who was well in their 80s. Well in their 80s. And this ain't like this Rugal going. This is like I've been running Rugal.
The fit Rugal.
I mean, I was thinking, you know what I mean? Hey, and that dude, not only, I mean, of course he came in his age class, but he beat a lot of young people. And I was one of them people, and he had 50 years on me.
Wow.
So I don't, you the right 102. You never know.
You're right.
You never know.
Well, 102 is speaking for itself.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Man, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if my loved one was in that nursing home. Right. But then when you go to nursing homes and you see how it's set up, it still kind of make you wonder, like, oh my gosh, is this person, I'm putting them in a nursing home, and I'm thinking that they're going to be cared for, and another neighbor.
But it's not uncommon for residents to get in altercations.
Right.
And people can't be watched 24 hours a day. So, I mean, what is the solution to that? They're not
a family feud? I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but for real, think about it. How you gonna be like, your family, your grandma killed my grandma? Listen, my
granny getting rolled on.
What is the history of each one of these people? Is there a history of dementia? Is there a history of combative behavior? I mean, we don't know where this started.
Listen, I could share a quick story real quick where my children was up there visiting my grandmother. And they called me and was like, can you come get us grandma acting up? I said, what? Because Grandma told that lady to quit asking us questions or she was going to snatch her by that bag. I said, what? I was like, sound like her. She going to snatch the woman by her bag. Now, I was...
What's the bag? Another person.
Yeah, another person. Now, here's my thing. Now, I don't know what if the lady had a G-tube. I don't know what kind of bag it was. All I know is that my little people was embarrassed. And they said, can you please come get us? Grandma is acting up. I said, well, she told this lady that she was going to snatch her by that bag. And so I don't know. I got to ask Fuzz, what is going on? So like you said, they do have altercations in nursing homes, but murder?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, any altercation get into murder.
Now, and that is factual. And just like what Kim Ham, the go-to girl, said, if dementia sets in, post-traumatic stress syndrome, because I know with dealing with the people that have dementia and Alzheimer's, those people get mean.
Well,
my grandmother
medications can change behaviors. I mean, there are a lot of factors here.
Right, my grandmother had dementia, and she was very mean. Everybody used to be like, "Nikki, we don't want to take care of your grandma because
they get the swinging when
it's the swinging." So of course, everybody wanted to trade her. I'll trade somebody on my list, on your list for your grandma. Fine, I'd rather take care of my.
Listen, okay, so y'all just swap out.
My grandma wasn't no joke. Grandma was about that life for real, and she had a big old head because my grandma was tall and still had a big old head. I said, stop, boy. Everybody was a boy. Like, grandma, come on now.
See, so when they get older, I mean, you just don't know.
But why y'all giving this 102-year-old, like, outs? Why y'all trying to plead insanity for her? Unfit to stand
That's
trial.
the same. Yeah.
She might be okay.
But 102 and I have the right to kill you. You done made me mad. I'm taking you out.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm fed up. I'm up to here with this.
Yeah, 102 years she has had it.
102 years for nothing.
Right.
You think you the first person? You think you the first? And you might not be the last.
Right.
You never know.
Hey, I'm like, especially when she said she did it. Especially when she said she did it. She did it. Rugo, what's going on in politics?
The Mala.
Go ahead.
Report. So, FBI
I watched him. Go ahead.
Mueller had basically he gave the Mueller report, and what came from that was immediately Trump said there was no collusion. Look, I told y'all. But he actually said, hey, this was his first time to talk since releasing the report. And he did resign. But he said this. He said, I didn't say that there was no collusion. All I'm saying is that if it's the president of the United States, that position, you can't charge that position in this particular case. It would be up to Congress to make a case for impeachment. But they need to use what his report said to find that information out.
But his report, when I was listening to it, I mean, well, he didn't
his testament.
Yeah, his testament. Yeah, give me the right terminology. First of all, he stepped down.
Yeah.
But in the report, he pretty much said that the president was guilty.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to...
But you can't say... But you can't... The thing is like, okay, this is the root of it, is that high crimes and misdemeanors don't have a definition for what those things are.
Okay.
It's up to Congress to apply what punishment should be done, but the only punishment they can do to a president is impeachment. Mm-hmm. So,
but they said he was saying that you can't
you can't charge a city president. Uh-huh. But if they impeached him, then they can do the charges because he wouldn't be president.
Okay.
Or if he didn't get reelected, or when he isn't a president anymore, he can still be charged.
Okay.
Like the crime, the
crime still stands.
The guilt is there. The ability to be able to exercise justice with his position is not there.
Okay.
So the punishment is on layaway.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what is all that? When he was sitting there talking and all them, how many was it? 400 pages?
It was 400 pages.
I'm glad he...
I don't think he could say because some of this stuff, what's going on is there's the guy Barr who's the attorney general, and he redacted information.
Okay.
So like a lot of that stuff is still classified. It hasn't been declassified, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
So all we need is Trump to just say, declassify that, and it can be done. But
we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you ain't going to slip up on that, man.
Okay. And what else we got? What you think as far as for who? Well, how many people we have? Like 146 people running?
I think it might be 25 now. I think it was 24, but I for some reason I want to say 25 Democrats.
That's. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the thoughts is that Biden is the front runner.
We got that.
The view is that Biden. They think Biden is the guy who can win. Now, so they're not to say that he isn't one of the better candidates, but they're saying he has the ability to be able to win. So
okay,
it'll probably end up being hands up.
Hands up. Go ahead.
So would it seem feasible or possible that Bernie Sanders would consider being his running mate if asked? Because there are a lot of Sanders supporters still out there.
Yeah. I think the thing is that the combination could be whatever if he picks up a running mate. But this was the thing. It was now I had heard early on that he asked Abrams from Georgia to be his running mate.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's because no one has announced that. You know, I don't think that has been. I know I heard it somewhere, but I don't know if it's been, put to the forefront of that.
To say, hey, this is what we're going to do. I am like, because on The View, they show the different candidates that comes on there, and I ain't even trying to be funny. It is so many that I'm getting tired.
I like Andrew Yang.
Yeah, you still stuck on Andrew Yang with give everybody $1,000?
Yeah.
Give everybody $1,000 guy.
He right. And he said tax Amazon. How are you gonna pay zero in taxes?
Now that's true.
He said the money is here. We got the money to do it. And I'm like, all right, my brother. Go ahead. If he a good vice president, if they like, well, he don't got the power to win, but he could, if they were to, put him on a ticket, but he sounds amazing for a cabinet position at least. I like him.
All right. What you got? Joe Biden or what? Because they trying to say Joe Biden is too old.
The age don't have nothing to do with it.
It sure don't.
And the thing is, I would hate in this country for people to say age discrimination, because I've heard that about some other people that are running for office, that people are like, well, this person is. I'm like, what do I got to do about it? You can have a young person who young but completely off the rail wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because we also got that around here. You know. I mean, the thing is, it's like what does age has nothing to do. Okay, because this is the thing. If age was a determining factor for the only thing that the person needs to be is old enough to run for the position.
Okay.
So if the person is 70, 75, 80, let them run. They have the ability to run. Why is it such a big deal how old he was when nobody was saying nothing about how old Reagan was?
Good point.
Bush number one.
Reagan was old.
And the Republicans say, "Oh, Reagan, the party of Reagan, Reagan this." Reagan was old. So age shouldn't. Whenever they bring up that as an argument to Biden, it's just another way of hating. And the thing is, why would you discriminate on someone based on age? And if you don't feel that a person who's old a person who is a senior citizen can't lead our country, then you probably ain't going to care about them when senior citizens when it's in your policies. You know what I'm saying?
I would prefer an older seated president.
Hey,
than some younger one, because like I said, everything is accepted now. Everything.
Well, I'm just saying, I used to watch Kung Fu Theater, and usually the coldest one was the guy with the gray eyebrows that came down to his chin. You know what I mean? That was the coldest guy in the whole movie. He never lost. So that's who I'm with,
And Trump is no spring chicken.
Trump old, too. I mean,
he's 72.
Yeah, I think Biden like 74, 70.
Yeah, they together.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, they together, so I don't understand.
And he got more relevant experience. He was kind of old.
He was old?
Well, he wasn't he just died.
Biden is 76.
Was he 92 or 3 when he
died? George Bush?
Yeah, Herbert.
George Herbert Bush.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but he
had to be in his 60s, 70s when he ran.
He was kind of old. He was
George,
the father.
Let me see. I don't even have Bush on here.
He ran. He got elected in '88.
Reagan was the oldest at 73 years, 274 days at the time of his election to his second term.
The time of his election to his second term?
Mm-hmm. And the oldest at the time of leaving office was Ronald Reagan, 77 years, 349 days.
Yeah. And the thing is like those guys, I mean, these older candidates have very sound judgment, a plethora of experience. You know what I mean?
That's what I would go. I would want to go with somebody with experience, not some new.
Well, look, because we had a guy who didn't have nearly a lot of experience, who was probably going to go down in history as being one of the best.
Well, I ain't gonna knock that. I ain't gonna knock him. I ain't gonna knock him, but
Obama, JFK, them was some, they were.
I ain't gonna knock them, but I'm saying if I had. Well, those were great choices too. Yeah. But see, and
so
JFK, there was some experience. Yeah, there's great experience though.
Was JFK,
but he had the experience with the family. You know what I mean? And
yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
So it's like, okay, so you're in it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
but what?
No, I mean, like,
Tamron, run for president.
I'll do it.
All right.
35.
As soon as you talk.
You had to prove you was born in America.
Yeah. That's funny. Listen how he said it too.
You was born in America.
You was born in America. Look, we got to prove that. Absolutely nut city. Well, listen. So the reason I came up with is this the new norm, because everything is accepted, like with this new generation. So let me tell y'all. So I went to the prison to visit today, right?
Uh-huh.
And what I saw through my lens was how that was like the new normal. I saw some powderheads there. They were visiting their grandson. Mm-hmm. And they come in there. I mean, they was ready. Listen, this was like, for real. What you thinking about?
No, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
They came up in there like 5'2". When powderheads, I'm talking about some old people. And they had their little canes, their little tennis shoes. The grandfather came. They're like, Junior, look at Uncle Sonny's here. Uncle Sonny came to visit at the prison. They smiling. Everybody's happy. I said, look, these grandparents is here to see their grandkids. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like the actual inmates. It was like they were at home. And that's what I saw, which really bothered me. It was like they were at home and everybody's going to visit. Like, yeah, we going to visit Junior. Because I'm like, why does they got to be Junior? Like, right. That's what did it to me too. Why's they got to be Junior? But just
maybe he was a junior.
He probably was. But what I'm saying is,
I know somebody named Junior.
You know somebody who
named Junior
on the birth certificate? JUNIOR. What is it? No, IOR. Junior. That's what we're gonna call him. We ran out of names. That's it.
That's his name.
And everybody was so. I mean, you want the inmates to be happy. Their family is there, but it was almost like I was at the Canfield Fair. I felt like I was at the Canfield Fair almost. And I was looking around and I'm looking at these babies and I see all of them sitting there with their loved ones and they look to be like 21, 19. And even though you hear constantly, and I've been in corrections for almost 20 years. So you see it, working there, but on the other side, going to visit someone who is incarcerated and to see how, it wasn't like it was a punishment, if that makes sense.
I think the thing is that the punishment is them being there.
But what I'm saying,
why perpetuate it as a worse or
no, I'm saying it's meant. The prison system is meant as a punishment.
Yeah,
and that's why I said. So don't get me wrong. I think it's good that they see the family and they're not incarcerated. Their mind clearly isn't incarcerated. It was like a new normal. Even working in the prison, it's a city within a city. Mm. And that's how I had to look at it even when I first walked through. Because I'm like, I don't like being locked in and my life depends on if somebody pressed this gate. But it's a city within a city. So it's like a whole town. And when I went in there from the other side as a visitor, and it's like, okay, and I'm looking and I saw it today. And I saw these young kids and I'm looking like, man, and you hear constantly, yeah, the prison system is built for, our people and all that other stuff. But that, honestly, it's a mixture. It's a mixture. It's almost even now. It's not, they're like, oh, for the black man, it's a mixture.
It's the rate per capita is the issue with African American males.
And now, when I looked through I was looking through a different lens today, and they weren't sad. I don't expect them to be crying or anything like that. And like I said, working there, and I'll tell them constantly, keep your head up. Keep your head up. Your body's in here. Physically, you're in here, but mentally, you're not. And I saw where mentally they weren't. And that's why I said, is this like the new normal? Like, okay, how many people have been incarcerated? Remember back in the day, and it ain't that far back in the day, let's do 20 years, it was less people that you knew. You didn't know. It was like, it was taboo. It's like, oh man, he in jail. You always got, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to put it out. You got that one cousin that go in and out of jail.
All the time.
And we know that person. And we know that person all the time. Somebody has somebody in the family that boom. But then now we are at a place where it's not a rarity. Is that a word? Do I need to bail?
You cool.
I'm cool with that one. It's almost like, okay. And I think in another 20 years, you know how on the application it says, do you have a felony? I'm going this way. I'm wondering if that's going to be off because there's so many people with felonies. How are you going to get workers?
Well, people are trying to remove the box. The
box that says it
from there because they got to do a background check anyway. But they just don't want you to be rejected based off of that first impression that you have that felony. So there's a movement to remove that in a lot of places.
Okay, because I'm sitting there thinking, because at a time, it's about to be that way. Just like the drug test. Remember they said, you have there's a lot of opportunity, but people can't pass. Like I had Malik here the one day for the police officers. He said, we have openings, and they say there's no jobs. The problem is they can't pass the drug test because there's so many people on drugs.
I tell you this though.
Tell me.
The last 2 jobs I had, I didn't have to take it. I didn't have to take a drug test.
So they pretty much removing that too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing was the requirements I had to have for those jobs. I guess they was just like, we don't like. Of course, we don't. They had things set up like there was programs if you did have an issue or something like that. But initially, you didn't have to have a drug test. And then most of the time, if you work for a big enough company, once you pass the test, they don't even do. Once you pass the test and you get hired in, they don't even do randoms because it's too expensive. They just wait till you get hurt and say you're dirty.
That's probably that's something.
Just wait. But I mean, because I there's a large employer here who does that. It might be different in manufacturing,
but that would be a lot. That would be a lot of money. How could your business survive if you're doing all these?
If you get like 5,000 employees and you're doing randoms,
and you do randoms, but if
how much is the test? Like what?
30,
on the cheap end?
30. Yeah, look at her. She said 35 because I'm like, I don't like 30. Okay, so you do this drug test, and if you do it on every
$35 million, I don't know.
Yeah, it's about.
Is it or is it 3.5 million? Some 5,000 employees times 35.
Yeah, that would be.
Million.
I don't know.
Doing it off the top of my head, I think that's right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna believe you. You Rugal.
Ain't nobody doing that a year.
Because your company wouldn't survive. So I'm thinking eventually, just like you said, they're working to remove that box because I said in a minute you won't have any employees. Think about it.
The thing is, though, you will still have that thing set up just because the population is growing. And you got to have...
Actually, it's only $175,000.
$175,000? $35?
Times 5,000 employees.
Oh, I overshot that by a bunch. Well, that's still $200,000 a year, roughly. Mm-hmm. So they ain't... Yeah.
Man.
My math was completely off.
What'd you say? It was. Oh, she got it?
Yeah.
She got it. I'm thinking that's going to be interesting. Just like with, tattoos. Remember 20 years ago, it was taboo. You know, if somebody had 1 or 2 tattoos, but to have like a whole sleeve, that's like the norm.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is like customer service is different now. Well,
speaking of customer service, we got somebody on here waiting. Go ahead.
This is one thing we didn't talk about. I don't know if we talked about this show or not, but there's been several states recently who have passed heartbeat bills that are pretty much going to abolish abortion.
Oh, we're going to talk. Okay. That's coming. But when you say customer service, listen, they have quality assurance out now that listens to the employees.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with that, you know, I usually this call is being monitored for quality assurance purposes.
I hope it is.
Ah,
You terrible.
good. Well, they're hiring outside companies to listen, to monitor, because customer service is whack.
It's horrible.
But usually when I get somebody that's really good, I say, I hope this call is being recorded because you're excellent. That's what I say.
Now that's nice.
You can tell when you're me working in customer service in call centers, and now I'm doing it from home. You can tell when you're being monitored because you go to talking, and then all of a sudden either they are going to listen to from when the time the phone rings and you pick it up, or they might pick it up in the middle of your conversation.
Can you hear it like an old school?
It's an echo. It's an echo. So you know that quality assurance is listening to you. But now some of these and of course, so you're going to get smart. And if you've been getting smart with people, you're going to straighten up when you hear your echo. Now these companies are also not only doing their quality assurance inside of the company, but they're hiring outside companies, thus calling into these places like Sunset or Awnings, Thermospas. What else did I've done a couple. And these tax management places are horrible. So if you work for a tax management place and people are calling to get help with they back taxes on their IRS and they owe $10,000 or more, and you getting smart, you getting a zero, because I do them calls. And they are horrible. They will hang up
you
on
actually
you.
Charge the callers or the people? Oh, you talking about the actual
actual customer service employee.
Okay.
We call, like, the outside companies are having you call different companies to see how their customer service is. Are they professional? Are they knowledgeable? Are they friendly? Are they rude? Did they disconnect the call? They're asking these questions, and you have to, compared to other calls in this certain category, how would you rate it, and would you recommend this company? No.
And see, people are rude though. I'm like, people are rude. They're coming in. I seen people in the medical field. I saw a doctor that had a whole sleeve, and I mean, and you don't want to discriminate. But if a surgeon came to you, I need to know, were you a C student? Were you a C student in college? Or were you an A student? Did you have perfect attendance? Because this particular surgery, was you there for the lecture? That's what I want to know. And I know what you're going to say. A degree is a degree is a degree.
No, but that's what happens. A degree is a degree is a degree. What you're saying, the thing is what they do in their professional lives that separates them from the others. But the funny part about this, I will disclose a health situation. I had a surgery, and they had a resident or something come in there, and she's telling me about something. And so as she was saying it, I started looking up research papers. She thought I was just Googling her, just looking for articles, but I was looking for actual professional industry articles, like studies and stuff that was done. And she said, "Are you Googling this?" I was like, "Yes, I am." I was like, "I don't know you. You still practicing. And I ain't getting a half off for this surgery." So, yeah.
I'm not getting half off for this surgery.
And so, the person who was over, I did ask him a tough question. I was like, "You probably did a lot of these surgeries." He's like, "Yeah, about 700 of them, right?" So, and I said, "Can you tell me of one that really went bad?"
Okay.
And he did.
Oh, did he? Okay, and how did that make you feel?
It made me feel that I felt like I was in good hands with him, because the way he answered that question, he didn't answer like you would ask for asking that. He answered it like, "Yeah, I never want that to happen again."
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it was something opened up and spilled out, and then that caused another issue or whatever. I didn't ask him if the person lived or not, but I just asked him, "Can you tell me of a time when it went bad?"
And I think that's a legitimate question. Wouldn't you think so, Kim Ham, to go to, girl?
I certainly do. I think that's a question that should be asked.
Yeah. Okay. You wouldn't take it, being a nurse, you wouldn't be offended by that?
No, I would not, because I've seen very well-dressed doctors and nurses who aren't worth crap, and I've seen some that might have 50 tattoos, and they could take care of me any day.
And see, and that's it. But see, I guess so right now, this generation, that's why I said this got to be the new norm. It's the judging a book by its cover is out the door.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's, especially because, I mean, like, okay, let's think about this. Even though Ben Carson, we ain't talk about this either.
Yeah.
The Oreo situation.
Oh, yeah.
No, REO, man. But the funny thing about him is, like, if people would have judged the book, if people would have judged him by saying, well, there's no good black doctors that do this, and how could you do this? And he actually changed the landscape of neurosurgery.
Yes.
And
that's what he's better at.
And you know what's crazy about
How about that instead of being over hood?
It's crazy. As stupid as he sounds sometimes. I think, like, did he do it on accident? Did
he accidentally become great?
Was it like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm going to do everything that I ain't supposed to do. And it worked out.
He accidentally became a genius.
You know what I mean?
Healing hands by accident.
That's funny because sometimes I'm like, no, I think he needed to stop by. Yeah. All right, go ahead with the abortion. We talked about that last show. Was that last show? The week before.
This is happened this week. I think it was...
No. I'm talking about when we were talking about the Alabama with the whole abortion thing.
Alabama, Missouri. Oh, y'all did?
No, we talked about it 2 shows before. Missouri, who else?
Alabama, Missouri.
That's probably why that tornado went through Missouri. It ain't right.
It's another. Exactly. It's another place. I can't think of the name of it.
But what were you saying? You said so. The new news is.
It's like if a woman, how they're doing it, they're punishing the doctors, and in one of the states they're saying if you perform an abortion and the fetus is over 8 weeks old,
right,
you get 99 years in jail.
Bullcrap. And I don't think it's right.
Yeah, no, at all.
It's a place in Missouri where it's only one place. I think it's Missouri, and they only have one clinic for this procedure, and they won't renew their license.
Right, and you still paying loans back. Yeah. See, already people aren't practicing medicine because of the malpractice insurance, and then you have it's like what's happening? But
there were concerns about the clinic. The issue was that. Government no one's putting money to make it. First of all, they don't want to renew it. If it was the best, most pristine Cleveland clinic, if it was doing that, they just don't want to give it a license period. You know what I mean?
But that's not fair because you have those instances where there are young children that have been molested and raped that don't need to bring a child into this world. They're not allowed to have an abortion now. You have those parents who are faced with having a child with a severe disability that may not be able to take care of it or the best job, and then you have these insurance companies that's charging all this amount of money
for special needs
children, and they're denying you, and then you have to rely on the state. Those instances, that's not fair. And for you to take a woman's right, no, I don't believe in abortion, but there are instances where yes, it should be done, and that is taking a woman's right, and that's not fair. And now you have some men trying to compare it to, that's like taking our right away and making us pay child support. That's totally different. Don't even try, because I've had a bunch of them argue about that. Well, that's just making us paying child support is making us take care of the child. So you guys not being able to get an abortion, making you take it. That's totally different.
Now, I don't think we should use abortion as birth control.
Exactly.
Now, I get that part of it, but I think that's nuts. Now, I did hear they were saying like if the mother, like if she's sick or something like that, right, those are a little bit different.
Well, this is the mother's sick. You know what I mean? But the thing is that like, what if I have a mental scar because I was raped, and now you making me
keep this child? I have a friend.
I cannot move out of this situation.
And then you'll end up being, if you're mentally scarred, you'll be the one who's on the news because you've abused your child or killed that child.
And that could potentially do that.
Exactly.
I have a friend who was raped, and she had her child. And I still, to this day, I don't know how she did it. I really don't. And you know that child eventually want to know who is my father. And at that time, she didn't know who it was. She was walking home. And when she was walking home from, I want to say track practice, I'm trying to think. And she got raped. And her family in the church didn't believe in abortion. And they're going to deal with it. And now you have this child. And she seems to love her child. She didn't have any more children. She said, no, she couldn't. None of that. Well, but that was her scar. Her scar
didn't have any more.
After that child, and I don't want to say the sex, but then people narrow it down.
I wonder if there was an issue with intimacy
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty
but
sure
I mean,
it was.
that's unrelated to the actual child being born. It's the
It's
event
with
of
that.
the
Yeah.
event.
I think it was because I know somebody that she dated. She couldn't go further, and I thought that they were like a good couple, but she couldn't go further, and so that's her scar. But in a case like that, because she didn't. I remember. Listen, I remember we was at church, and she didn't know what to do, and it was like her parents. She didn't want to go through with it, but her parents made her go through it. She has this child. And like I said, the child is thriving, graduated college, the whole nine. But as a child, let's go with a child like we see these Maury Povich or the paternity test where they want to know who their father is, and now you don't even have anything to go by to say who the father is.
Event in time,
and that's it.
And that's crazy because like I think about like often if I think about my son or something that has happened or whatever, usually good stuff or I always think about like there's times that you remember and those things that you remember are usually positive things. Like I remember him being born. Now I was young. So it was the thing was like I knew I was all in. It was when it happened, but I don't know if, however, but the thing was I look back at that time and I look at it as, man, I remember when I was like, I do not know what I'm going to do with this thingy here. And, now I don't have to worry about that because he's on his way.
He's on his way.
Yeah.
I just feel like, penalizing the doctor, you're going to penalize somebody that's trying to help somebody. And this is what we're doing. We're trying to help people.
So the issue, I think the way that the opposition of this argument looks at it is how people looked at Dr. Kevorkian. Some people had an issue with him. He was the one who was,
yes,
he was a doctor who was assisting people, assisted suicide for people who had terminal illness.
Now, to me, that's almost like, now, I didn't agree with the Kevorkian method. And the reason I didn't agree with it because the same thing. I don't feel like you should use abortion as birth control. Now, I understand some people say, go ahead, shoot me because I can't deal with the pain no more. Like a dog, the dog in pain. Yeah. I see people, they shoot the dog and then, take it out of his misery. I didn't agree with the Kevorkian method. And that's just me. What about you, Kim?
I feel that there's such a high level of hypocrisy here. I don't talk about it because if it's wrong to kill someone by abortion, it's wrong to kill someone by capital punishment.
Now you done opened up another can of worms, and you're right. That's a whole other show.
But that's just how I feel about it. We pick and choose what's right and what's not right. And we make provisions where it's convenient as a society to make it happen. So you're sitting here carrying on and passing all these laws about abortion, but you will kill somebody that we don't debate his life or her life at midnight. They are obviously alive, and you're going to kill them. So, and we want to know why the generation behind us is messed up, because the generation they're looking at is messed up.
Well, amen.
Yeah.
Look, amen. Wait. Let the audience cheer. Drop the mic. Clap, applause.
Say, embrace you, be you. See you next week.
See you there. Find you, embrace you, and always love you. And drop the mic because she hit that nail on the head.
Walked away.
Yeah, look, she done walked away.
Lord,
let it do what it do.
I truly think it's that person's decision.
And we should keep it that way.
But what I will tell you is that, okay, this is a thing.
Oh, let me say this here. 8% of the U.S. population, as of 2017, they don't have new stats, are convicted felons. 8%. And then they say 33% are African American. I don't know why they capitalize on that, but anyway, they said 33%.
Because the high rate of injustice in the legal system.
There you go.
And the issue that minorities usually don't have enough money to fight in the legal system.
And so they take the plea.
So, yeah.
That's why it's called Court of Common Pleas. Mm-hmm. So they take the plea deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time, Ruko. Is he ready?
I am ready.
He is ready.
I actually came from the movies, y'all.
What's happening in the movie world?
Okay, we just gonna get to the stuff. As y'all know, there is a Latin movie out. It's a live version one, and it's leading the box office. And so that's out there. I'm personally not interested in seeing it. I'm okay with that.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not.
He ain't interested.
I'm
The
not hating
end.
on it. I just say okay. All right.
Are you brought your sidekick?
Yeah. This might be my new person. You got a name? What do you call you?
Well, originally when I was first on here, you called
Diablo. It's El Diablo. Right?
El Diablo.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. Okay. Sit to see. All right. El Diablo here, my sidekick. Rugo and El Diablo went to the movies today. And we went to go see Brightburn. Brightburn is a movie that is sort of like what happens if there was an alien that came here with all the powers and the situation of Superman, but something went wrong where he wasn't fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. And this is that movie. This movie, right? And I told him, you got to go see it.
Okay.
You got to go see Brightburn, right?
Look, she's smiling. Yeah,
You got to go see it. And this is what I said to him when I left the movie. If you've seen Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, remember when Bruce Wayne was saying, if there's a 1% chance that he's an enemy, there's a 100% chance that we got to do something, right? This movie explains why Bruce Wayne thought that way.
Okay.
And
okay.
It gives you that superhero thing, but it feels like it's almost like a supernatural horror movie. You know what I mean? Like it ain't like, oh my God, it's scary, but it got its moments. Like, but what is happening in the movie is like, oh, I never seen that before. I ain't never seen it.
For real?
Like that. Yeah.
How you feel about it?
I think that movie was amazing. I never would have expected a superhero horror film like in the near future. But I'm glad that they came out with this movie because that gave me a whole different perspective. Like he told us, about what if Superman was evil and all that stuff. I was very surprised.
So it was worth it?
I think it's worth it.
It was a good afternoon at the movies. Now, this movie had came out a week or so ago, so I do want to kind of spoil it, but I won't because Nikki does like these films. Like, if you weren't here, I would say it and say, hey, don't listen to it. Don't listen to the show, or at least this segment of it. But they do a really good job of saying, let's just start this whole universe like this. Like, I want you to see it.
That.
Now, the important thing about it is, okay, James Gunn is the director who did Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, he didn't direct this movie, but he produced it. But his two brothers wrote it. And the thing about James Gunn is that he's going I think he's writing and directing Suicide Squad, the next one. And if they use this as a template on how to really use villains, it'll be out of sight. Because I didn't like the first Suicide Squad. I didn't. Like I even tried to go back and watch it a couple times.
Seen it.
The best.
Still haven't seen it?
I wasn't interested.
I didn't like it. But if he uses half of what they put into this movie into that one, it is going to be worth my money.
And look, here I am. I'm surrounded by moviegoers except me. I just go for the snacks. I do. I go for the snacks. I'm like, I catch the wave. What is it called? Ride the wave?
Yeah.
I'm like, where we going? Okay, I'm going.
Are you going to see that one that came out today?
Ma.
Yes.
I wanted to go. I was going to actually go and see.
What's the
Ma
name
today.
of it?
Ma.
M.A.?
With Octavia Spencer.
See, I told you, I'm in a
horror
room, y'all. I'm in a room with moviegoers, and I just ride the wave.
It's sort of like a
give
horror
you
film.
a synopsis of Ma, it's basically teenagers, they want to party, but they can't buy beer. So they ask this, middle-aged black woman, hey, can you go buy some beer?
Hey, that just happened at the Save-A-Lot on Memorial Day.
To you?
Yeah, listen, no, for real, listen.
Somebody asked you if you
they was trying to, these young kids out in the parking lot right in Union Square, they was trying to get people. Now, they didn't ask me. I don't know if I looked like I was going to be like, not. But they was asking other people, hey, can you go get us this? They wanted to buy this liquor, right? So I need to see, because y'all know I'm nosy. Yeah. I need to see how this going to go down. So that was my eventful day. Beforehand, I'm like, hey, got to get a ponytail, okay? So, the hair place is right there. Anyway, these kids out there, there's 4 of them. And they were teenagers, and they was trying to get people to go in and buy. So now they got like the liquor store. If y'all know me, if y'all from this area, y'all remember the California wine shop. Well, now they got, it's not the California wine shop anymore, but it's like the wine shop inside of the Save-A-Lot. Kudos to the lady that worked in the Save-A-Lot, because these young kids was pointing out what they wanted, and she was like, and the guy went up there to buy it. She was like, I cannot sell this to you. She saw it. I was so happy. So you know me, I'm a hater. Thumbs up. Thank you. Don't buy these underage kids anything. Yeah. Then they went out.
Lucky he didn't call the cops. She didn't call the cops on him.
Right.
There's a cop right in there.
Right. So, and I work with the police officer, the cop that's in there, but that cop was on the other side. Listen, these kids did 3 people. So I ain't got nothing to do. I did have something to do, but I wanted to see how this was going to play out. They summons another lady. She did it. I was shocked that it was...
Who does that?
Listen, it was 3. I was shocked that they did it 3 times. They went back out, and then I guess the third time they got smart. They didn't come in and point it out. But the person, the cashier, she saw the first time. They was like, we want this. And the guy came in with the body, and the lady said, I can't sell this to you. He's like, well, here's my ID. She said, I cannot sell it to you because I seen that. So she ended up calling the police over. And the police was watching it. Listen, it was almost like an experiment because we watching this. And they were out parking lot pimping, trying to get people. And I guess they paid the people.
I was going to say, do they pay people to buy the liquor?
To buy it. And the third time, now the officer is looking out the window because it's a big window. I'm standing there looking out the window because I'm like, wow, is this really about to happen? And a lady came in. And listen, these weren't, if it was like some younger, like 22, 25, you'd be like, okay, they stupid, some college kids. They look to be there. You know, these people looking old though. They look to be like maybe your average 50. And I'm going to say your white 50. So that you know how that look. So they probably, you know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. They look, like, you too grown. You need to be telling these children, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I ain't going to say the officer's name. I was like, all right, girl, I got to go the third time. And what she did, she stopped the person. When they came in through the door, she said, listen, I saw you talking to, the children, these teenagers out there, and they summons other people to come in here. She said, now, if you go and by this time, remember, it's the third time. Yeah. So she gave a warning. She said, I will have to call the police. She knew what they was going to get because the cashier, they kept asking for the same exact thing. That's how she knew.
That's how dumb they were.
Right. And then the one guy, he was like, well, I'm going to call. He was like, that's discrimination. If I want to buy this, blah, 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 blah. She said, I know who you're buying it for. She was like, and I'm not going to sell it. She said, I will. And she did. She said, I will lose my job. She said, I will get fired before I sell this to you because I know that you're going to give it to these kids. She was like, well, that's my business and those are my kids. And if I want to buy it for them, I can. Listen, I was totally shocked. But that officer told the next person, she said, if you go in and she said, I will call the police and you'll be arrested. And just left it just like that. You got to prove it.
She said they were her kids.
That's the second one said they was her kids. We're watching it.
Hey, but it's a whole slogan about that. Parents who host lose the most.
Yeah, hey, I like that. Yeah. Let's get a round of applause.
That's like the campaign against having kids drink at your house.
Okay, now go ahead. Now you said that particular movie. What now?
Okay, so basically teenagers asking someone to buy them beer. And at first she was, like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this for y'all. And then they kept begging her. And so she was just like, let me just go in and get it. She's like, never again. Don't ask me this. And so she invited them over to their house to, I guess, have a party. And she apparently joined them partying. And it turned bad from there.
Okay. Now the name of this movie again?
Ma.
This is
literally M-A.
Just to tighten up that synopsis, there's a link to her not fitting in with the high school group. And these kids are the children of the high school people.
Are you telling the movie?
No, it's in the
so she finally fit in. She's finally a cool kid.
Yeah, she's trying to be a cool kid
with the children of the ones that
she always wanted to hang out with.
It sounds like Payback.
That's what it sounds like. She's trying to fit in.
But I didn't spoil nothing. That's enough.
You didn't? All right, I might go see that movie then. Since I saw the real life occurrence.
Things like that, right?
And I wanted to go
right in the yo.
Today, but then he made a suggestion. Well, made a suggestion that actually me and my wife were supposed to go see that movie today. Ma.
So y'all didn't go see it.
But But me and him ended up going to the movies, and then we seen Brightburn, which I thought was a really great experience because it was one of those gems that I was going to let pass me by, and that's what I'm calling it. It is the diamond in the rough of movies for this
villains.
Yeah,
Gem. GEM, not GYM. For those of you that know Rugal,
yeah,
that he might have passed by.
I don't want Jim's diamond in his rough. No. Yo.
Not J-I-M.
Yeah, not
J-I-M. Look, J-I-M, J-Y-M, and G-E-M.
Nobody wants the rough. Anyway. Anyway,
yes,
but it's that little tasty morsel that you gotta see this summer because it will get overshadowed by things like Aladdin, things like Endgame. Dark Phoenix comes out next week, and then
yes, I gotta see that.
Then Spider-Man.
Listen, I'm waiting on Gemini Man to come out.
Yeah, in August. Ooh. Gemini Man is stars Will Smith. Where he's like some sort of like, let's say, assassin. And what happens is someone wants him killed, so they make a genetic clone of him. So he's fighting against his younger self.
Okay. Well, so what's the suggestion? Go to the movie?
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies.
Yeah.
Go to the movies before it gets too hot.
Brightburn and Ma.
Brightburn and Ma.
All right, we're gonna talk about Ma next week. Can we spoil Brightburn next week? You gonna see it before next week?
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna see it from the privacy of my own home. Click, click,
there
with.
See what I'm saying? The new normal. So they ain't gonna lose money. So you got what's that? The Fire Stick or somebody? See what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, for me, I always try to like the stuff I really like. I really want to support it. This stuff,
okay.
Like the only reason I'm going to because I'm going to see Ma is because I like Octavia Spencer. You know what I mean?
And good thing you didn't go, so you get to go with your wife because you already know I'm a female. Yeah, I would be like, you went to the movies and you didn't take me, and we were supposed to see
we
it.
had that argument.
So.
Did you? Okay.
She mad mugged me with a paper towel in my face.
Would you say you experienced that?
Yeah.
He witnessed it.
Yeah.
My husband falls asleep in the movie theater, so basically I'll be by myself.
What?
Yeah.
People still doing extra stuff in the movies.
Probably.
Couples.
Hey, I don't know.
And snore loudly. I'll be sitting there like
but I'm telling you this though. I love this whole going to the movies in the morning on a weekday has changed my life.
Why you feel like you got a big screen?
You about it before. You love it.
It's so great. It was only 3 people in the theater.
So do you feel like you got your own big screen?
It was me, him, and another person. I don't really like taking him to the movies though. Because he darkened his screen, but he still be texting. I don't like that.
Oh well, he don't like that. Listen, he don't like me going.
Get fired.
So I got fired.
I like that. My phone ringing. I got important stuff. I got real stuff going on. I'm like, it will wait.
Right.
And I get upset because I mean to cut my phone off and vibrate. I need to just cut my phone completely off.
That's what you should do.
We went to go see Black Panther, and the 2 hours we were all like cued in on the screen. Didn't nobody pick up their phone?
Now that's the truth.
Like,
it was Black Panther probably was one of the movies
we
where
were
nobody.
We were all in seats together.
It was hard saving those seats too. I was like, where you at?
Yeah.
You came with us, didn't you?
Yeah,
Black Panther. Yeah, he was there for Black Panther.
I was at Black Panther. I went out once to get snacks.
Yeah. I was like, I can't hold these.
I always get my snacks before I go in.
The line was too long.
It was that movie. That was like a main event.
That was a main event.
Was so packed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was a main event. Everybody know who they went to see Black Panther with.
Yeah.
That's when I got told off by somebody because I didn't answer my phone because I was watching Black Panther.
Okay.
Remember that? I was supposed to do an event, but I wasn't supposed to do it that night. But the person that wanted me to do it, sir, how you getting angry because I don't answer my phone when you call? Get out of here. Tonight is not the event. Goodbye. I was like, I can't work with you. I had to get that event back. I was like, somebody is possessive, controlling. Like, get your life. The wife told me.
If you need a horror, if you want a horror movie on Netflix, because that's the only.
You still watching Netflix?
That's the only streaming service I got.
Okay.
I ain't built nothing on there yet. Granted, I've been thinking about a couple things.
Okay.
But there's a movie on there called The Invitation. And it is about a couple who go to a dinner party in the They say the hills of California somewhere. And from that, there are things that happen where you're like, oh. And I don't really want to say nothing because part of it's not. Just trust me on this. If you got an hour and a half, because I think it's only like now I judge movies based on how much time I want to dedicate to them. And I watched this one movie.
So you schedule.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is like an hour 40 minutes. I could squeeze that in. But it was a movie. It was 2 hours and 14 minutes. I was like, oh no, I can't do that one. It was this a movie. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
And also because of the content, because of what the movie was, I'm like, I already know it's going to be bad, and I don't want to devote 2.5 hours to a bad movie. And once it would have been on, it would have been on. It would have been a horrible thing.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But that's a little gem I checked out again.
The Invitation.
The Invitation.
Oh, look at her. See, a room full of doggone.
Have you ever seen the
moviegoers?
Rest Stop? It came out in like 2014.
We ain't talking about that. We staying right on 2018.
But no, it's good. I just discovered it like, what?
Look, Ma, and what's that other one y'all saw today?
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Okay. Real quick. It is that time for the Q-tips. We're going to talk about settling. Settling. What do I mean by settling? Are you a settler? Not a settler, a settler.
Are you asking me about a colonizer?
You
a settler?
Yes. Are you a settler? And how do you know? How would you know? Do you say these phrases after I? Have you found yourself saying that?
After I?
Mm-hmm.
And that means
someday I.
Oh, someday I.
After I do, ba 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 ba.
Oh.
Someday I. Do you doubt yourself? Are you one that's a hater?
Oh, I hate.
You throw shade, but I ain't gonna classify you as a hater. And this is the example of the haters. The haters are, and I hate to use the term hater, but it is what it is, and that's what the kids using, so that's what I'm gonna go with. If you find fault in somebody else when they're doing something, and you be like, oh no, they doing too much. They spend too much money doing A, B, C, and D. And I know you not. Look. Kim Ham, the go-to girl, is zoned in because she already know I'm gonna follow up with her. Are you that person to say, oh, look what they did. They went all out. They didn't have to do this. You know what I mean?
I don't say that.
You don't say that? Is the highlight of your evening an alcoholic beverage or food or a TV show?
That makes you a hater?
That don't make you a hater. It makes you a settler.
A settler.
A settler.
That's
just a question. And look, right after his movie, is that the highlight of your evening?
Well,
no. I know I got to get through this and then you can elaborate. Is that the highlight of your evening? A dish, an alcoholic beverage, or a TV show? Interesting. Okay, so it's something to think about.
Is that depression?
that you're settling. That means you're settling. There's something.
I'd like to be happy.
Yeah. So here's some quick tips. Accepting it is what it is. Not settling. Understand this. Take what it is that you can learn from a situation and say, okay, this is the reality. This is what's going on right now. I'm going to take whatever it is, even if you don't like it. You said you hate that phrase. I heard it.
I hate it.
But
it is what it is?
Listen.
I don't like it.
And see, my thing is black and white. So when I use that phrase, it is what it is, it's in your face. Kind of like when me and Kim, we were having the conversation before. You see it. We see the signs. Are you going to accept it or not? Okay. You know, and it's almost like, because some people have the tendency to rationalize bad behavior. Why?
When people use it as, well, you know, when something goes wrong, they be like, it is what it is. I'll be like, I don't like that.
No, you got to take it.
Especially, it ain't going to never be what it is if
right.
it's me.
Okay,
especially if it's bad. Like, if it's $1 million.
Like momentary happy. Yeah, let me keep moving because I can hurry up because we're running out of time. Take your momentary happiness and have it become an enduring happiness. Those are tips. Like, you might be happy drinking that drink or watching that show right then. But you want something that's going to last, all right? Look for the purpose. Like I said, look for the purpose and the lesson in everything. And say, why was I here? Was that a blessing or a lesson? Was this person in my life for a reason? You know what I mean?
A reason to season of lifetime.
And you know that. And sometimes them seasons be short. Well, they be short, be it there. Yeah, like I already told you, rationalizing. Don't rationalize bad behavior. We have the tendency to catalog inadequacies. And we'll be like, okay, well, maybe,
Maybe she's 102 years old. That's why.
right, because I did that. We did that with her. Yeah. We did that with the old lady. Like, well, maybe she had this, and that's the reason we had did that.
She just mean. That's why she did it.
Being single does not mean that you are abandoned. Okay?
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I think...
It doesn't mean that you by yourself because somebody just don't want you.
Sometimes when you just, I don't know. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I enjoy me so much.
So you love, see, that's what I'm saying. It's cool being single.
I'm fine.
It's okay. So don't settle. It's okay to be
Yeah.
single. That's what I'm pretty much trying to say. Don't compromise unless you're married. Well, if you're married and you already signed up and signed the contract, then yes, compromise. But don't. If it's something that you do not want to do, just say it right now. I'm not doing it. Bye. See ya. And y'all know me. Deuces. I'm chucking them because I am not dealing with anything. Because you got to know once you are with somebody or enter into a relationship, and I'm speaking on relationships now. When you come in, people expect you to be the same way.
Yeah.
Because you came in that way.
But the thing is, it's like when you want to be the same way and they don't accept that you the same way.
That's a problem.
Space.
You said space? Go back. Yeah, you need space. Now if you're married to the...
I've always said this.
Yes. You have. You've always said that. You always said that. Make sure you're aware of yourself. Focus the attention on you. That's it. Focus it on passion. Mm-hmm. Focus it on passion. And not the person. Let's be real. Not the person, because you already know it is what it is. Love you. Love you and stay focused on you. Make sure that if you are with somebody or around somebody, just in any friendship, that they are trustworthy. You know, because if you don't have trust, look at him. He looking. This need to be on TV. Y'all got to see the facial expressions.
It's like I want to say so much.
You can say respect your boundaries. If that person chooses you, let's be realistic here. Other people choose us to be friends with. I'm gonna go with just a friend.
Okay. Arrogant. Other people choose me.
They choose you
for your reality.
Absolutely, because here's the thing: once you set your boundaries, once you know if you're into, like, okay, I'm looking for somebody that is trustworthy, honest. I want somebody who has humility, and not even just dating, just in like with you guys. I know your boundaries, y'all know my boundaries. And guess what? You choose to be a part of that. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You guys chose me. I chose y'all. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here. You'd be like, because how many times y'all be like, I ain't even fooling with them. Think about it.
Yeah. This group of people?
I'm just saying,
people, period.
Dismiss others.
Yeah.
And that's exactly,
and make sure they're consistent. And with trust, and you like, all of y'all, I trust y'all.
Thank you.
Clearly.
Very much. Yes.
Thank you. Clearly. Yeah, clearly, because y'all here. I know you're going to come through. Yeah. Look, but it's okay. But there's a level of respect and trust and honesty, and that's what you have to look for in any type of relationship. That's why I said don't compromise and act like you're going to do something. And you had a good point when you said, if this is how you were at the beginning, why do people think that you should change? You can't change the individual. And then they say you change. No, you change, because for every action, there's a reaction.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. And it is.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. We got 3 minutes to go ahead. So what I am saying is, please choose you. Sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I receiving what I deserve?
Am I receiving?
And if you are not, you are settling. And there you are with your Q-tips. All right, now what did you have to say about it?
For example, you said that like your meal or whatever. Like if you just
he back on that, yeah.
I go out sometimes. I go out my way. Like I made pasta last night. I went out my way to make that pasta. I had to go buy this. I was like, this is what I want, and I ain't deviating from that.
Okay, that's cool.
I went out my way.
And that's a good thing.
It was in my way because that's what I wanted.
That's what you wanted.
And I said after I eat that pasta, I want to watch some TV.
That was your highlight of the day.
I watched Frasier.
Oh, that's your highlight, Frasier? Oh, Lord, I need a womp womp. I need that kind of sound.
I was researching a movie I wanted to go see today. I was checking out the stuff, and that's just my little settle down, moment.
That's what you do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in your case, you ain't settling. That's what you chose.
I chose that.
Okay.
I actively chose that.
Okay. All right. Did you go by yourself?
What, to the movies?
No, I know you didn't go to the movies.
To go get the pasta stuff? Oh, yeah.
Was it enjoyed?
Did I enjoy it?
Did y'all enjoy it?
Did I enjoy it?
Did y'all enjoy it?
Okay.
Well, how many times we gonna keep doing that?
I wanted pasta.
Okay.
So I was going to enjoy it because that's what I wanted. And I knew what kind I wanted. I knew how I was going to make it. I visualized it and I attacked.
You executed it.
Executed.
Yeah, and
expeditiously.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
What's his word? Deliciousness.
Yeah, it had some deliciousness to it. And the crazy part is I bought a spaghetti dinner ticket tomorrow. I'm like, oh man.
Do you want it? You gonna do it? You gonna eat it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it because I gotta pay for it. But I had mine, so I'm satisfied.
Okay, so
you
won't be disappointed.
Right.
Yeah, I won't be disappointed.
You're not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Go ahead, good one.
But that's the only time I'll let that phrase slide.
It can slide on there, right? It was the
Somebody
right
else
time.
made it. Now, if it was mine, the spice it is. I'm like, hell no, I gotta make it over again. It is what it is.
Did you want to comment on the Q-tips? Because we know she gonna wrap it up.
I was thinking about the hater part. I had to. Sometimes it depends on the person and what they're doing, because some people do too much. So yeah, every time they do something or post something, then I think I'm a hater towards this.
Oh, okay. Let's go with the prom season real quick. Okay, prom season. They going all out. I mean, they giving it to them. I am not mad. I want a do-over. I want from 91. I'm like, man, I want to go back. I want a prom do-over. Listen, they killing the game. I want a do-over.
Them went overboard.
Listen, but that's overboard to you. So if you had the monies, see, this is where I'm going with the settling. So now you mad, and you probably don't, not you per se, but they probably don't know where it's like that hidden jealousy. They didn't have to go all out like that. Why not? Why not? Because to you, like $20 to us, $500 might be $20 to them. And they're able to do it. Go ahead.
Can we just quickly run down? Okay, cause I was satisfied with my prom stuff because I added a few extra things. Okay,
but guess what? Somebody on the book probably was like, he didn't have to go all out.
Hey, but
why?
Guess what? But it wasn't like my one. I was like, oh, I'm wearing this all white suit. Oh, you know what? I want a royal blue silk vest, a royal blue scarf, or whatever. Made that.
Right.
I made it. I had white gloves and I had blue rhinestones on the feet.
You went all out. He went all out right there. He went all out. You ain't have to have all the rhinestones. You ain't have to have all the rhinestones. My mama said we can't do the rhinestones.
And I had my Deion Sanders too going on. Man, listen. The thing for me with that was this. I went all out, but it didn't cost me the price of going all out. Listen,
I wanted a do-over. I wanted a do-over because they got drones. I want a video. I mean, I was cold. I ain't talking about my outfit. My outfit was the bomb. Because, matter of fact, I still got the prom dress upstairs and I was going to rock it. It was black with rhinestones and rhinestone zipper. Every seam was all rhinestones. So I was with it. And it's still in style. And it was a hoodie. Ha!
Your dress was red, right?
I had the red dress, but I had a black one too. I remember
the black one. I do.
Yeah,
remember
the black
that.
one, bang.
Because it had like a.
Yeah, I had the hood before Bodyguard came out.
Yeah,
I had that.
Talk about the highlighter one though.
Oh yeah, that was a bit much. Wow. But I'll show you later because we got to hurry up and end the show. But everything. It was neon green. The girl had a neon green dress. That's what she's talking about. The highlighter.
Her dress was white,
and she had green hair.
And her green hair. And
it would have been okay if her hair was black. That's why I said, take note.
She took
everything don't need to be highlighted.
Exactly.
That's how I had my accents of blue.
The blue was cool.
The accents.
That's what it was. But they doing it.
I didn't wear a blue suit with white trim.
But they have people that's saying that people are going overboard. Why? Because you couldn't. I had somebody that was talking. They was talking about this baby shower. Talking they had a celebrity at the baby shower. It's like, I can't believe they had a celebrity at the baby shower. Let them do what they want to do with their baby.
The baby the celebrity?
The baby. Yeah, the baby is.
Be the focus.
Well, it was a baby shower. The baby not there yet.
Well, I mean, what was the celebrity doing? Was they singing?
Probably so. I wasn't there because it was a private. And that's what they said. It was a private baby shower. Usually they are, aren't they?
Exactly. They're all private.
Everything is invitation.
Help me out. Right. Help me out here. Don't come crashing my party.
Maybe the person said it that way to make it seem more exclusive. But
I think if the person could afford it, because they settling in their life and not wanting to go and get stuff. And this is just my thoughts. They sitting there, they chilling, they settling. So they like, oh, okay, well, we going to do this simple thing over here. Where these people, if they want to go all out, let them go all out. As long as they ain't asking you to pay the utilities.
You know what? That's the truth. I was talking to, I make friends when I go places. So it's this young lady who worked at this cosmetics place.
Okay.
Me and my wife went there, and we were talking about, I was like, we did it in 4 days. You know, so it was like.
Talk about the wedding?
The wedding. Like Wednesday, had it on the Sunday. No buying stuff before that day. It was like,
and you save a lot of money.
And just did it. And so my thing was, I told her, I was like, hey, it's up to you what you want to do. You know, we were talking to the young lady, but I was like, when I talked to my cousins about their marriage, the biggest thing they told me was they spent so much time waiting to get married because they didn't have the money for the wedding.
And see, that's different.
And I was like, yeah, but the whole thing is like, is that what marriage is about? Is it about the wedding, or is it about? Because I spent.
It's about the wedding.
You got a whole nother show.
Right. No, we only got 2 minutes.
Whole show.
Yeah, because I mean, in preparation for my wedding, I spent 5 months in counseling. Versus,
we talking weddings next week.
Show.
Next week we talking. I do.
So it's like where you going? Where is the investment going?
Well, we all can talk.
Is the investment in getting the right hall or having the right heart?
Woo! That'll preach, brother. That'll preach.
Okay.
I can't even run.
He can't even run. He can't run because he's a gym. GEM.
I'm and on Labor Day, on Memorial Day, I was making some cabbage, and I had my crock pot. Anyway, I spilled like hot water.
Oh God!
Stomach, so I got like second-degree burns.
On your stomach, you cook. Would you cook with no shirt on?
No.
I'm like, now that's a bit sloppy. I'm gonna put it out there. It went
through the t-shirt.
Okay, it went through the t-shirt. All right, listen, Kim, wrap it up for us about the settling.
Oh. Let me see. What can I say about settling? You don't settle, you choose. So if you chose it, you're not settling. Just deal with the consequence.
Hey, Kim Ham, the go-to girl. How can we reach you? Go.
330-720-3456. However, you can go to KimHam.thegotogirl.com. You'll find my podcast, my YouTube channel, and donation for the Emotional Support Animal Foundation. Everyone who wants an emotional support animal should be able to get one and care for one. KimHamTheGoToGirl.com.
Okay, then. I thought that was a recording.
All right.
.com. Hey, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Find you, embrace you, most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop Talk.